Hey, in this video we'll be discussing the Vevor 55-liter portable fridge. Let's get into it. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. I am Robert with Sherburne Outdoors, and today we're talking about the Vevor 55-liter portable fridge. Now it is the end of April 2024 here in Atlanta, Georgia, and we are getting into the heart of camping or overlanding season. And with that, you always want to have some type of way to cool your food. Whether, when I first started this, I'd have a cooler with ice, which was a huge pain. But over the years, I've really moved up to a portable fridge. Now, our good friends over at Vevor sent this to me to test out. So full disclosure, I did not pay for this, but I'll give you an honest review. And if this looks sort of familiar, if you've been following the channel for years, I have been using a 35-liter version of this from Applecool. And looking at everything, I think Applecool actually makes this for pretty much everyone. But it's exactly the same, except in a bigger model. I was ecstatic. It looks kind of boring, but it's very, very functional. So when you're looking at fridges, there's a bunch of models out there. There's ARB, there's Dometic, the really high end. And if you're watching the guys at like Storytel now, they got these great things. Now, if you're like me, and if you've been following the channel, I overland probably 30 days a year. I'm out on the trail doing stuff, reviewing products. And do I need one of those fridges? Absolutely not. Those things are like $1,000 or more. It's just crazy. So if we're looking here at the 55-liter, and why I like this much more than the 35-liter, which I've been using for probably greater than 3 years, and I have beat on that thing, and it just keeps going. It's really good for that 1 to 2 day trip. I needed to get into that 3 to 4 day trip, and I needed some more volume. So this 55-liter is going to be perfect for me. There's been some innovations along the way that this model has brought in with apps and everything else. So let's talk about this. So this is a 55-liter, holds a lot. It's just got a lot of volume to it. Basically, the best way to think of this is it will hold 60 of these. So a lot of volume inside of there for holding 60 Coke cans. It is $264.99 on Amazon. I'll have a link below. Now that is great value for what you're about to get out of that. We've got a mobile app to control this. Size-wise, it's not bad. It's just like this one, but taller. It's 27 deep by 13.6 wide by 27 high. So make sure wherever you're going, this is going to fit in the back seat of my Jeep. Fits perfectly for what I want to do, and then it does have a linear open. We'll do a walk around here in a second, kind of go through. Again, I think this is made by Applecool. The mobile app is Applecool, but this is being sold by our good friends over at Vevor, and again, there'll be a link below for the Amazon link. It is a little beefy, comes in at 36.8 pounds, but it has a compressor in, and this is kind of built for off-road. And what I mean by that is it does have low, medium, high power ranges, which we'll get into on the mobile app so that you can decide how much you want coming in from your battery if you got it hooked to the car. I actually have this hooked into our Blue Eddy 1152 watt hour power station below. And then it does have angle control, so you won't burn up the compressor. So if you get above 30 degrees, it'll actually turn itself off as you're moving through. So if you're climbing up some hills, you're doing some severe off-roading, it'll take care of all that. And then it does have an eco mode. Now I did a ton of testing with this both on the fridge. I haven't called it a ton, but I did some testing like I always do on the fridge mode and also on a freezer mode, because this does have a dual mode. It's not dual zone, but it does have a dual mode where you can either have it in fridge mode or freezer mode, just really with going up and down on the temperature progressions along the way. So again, this is $264.99 on Amazon. That is really, really good prices. I paid something similar for this many years ago, and I have gotten my return on investment over and over and over again. That thing's pretty beat up, and it has just kept going. So unlike some of the other ones that have kind of squishy plastic, this is very hard, very hard. It's got some feet on the bottom. I tell you what, let's do a walk around, and then we'll talk about our test results. All right, this is a very simple unit. It's got a lid up here. It does have some cup holders in here if you care to use them. If you're using it in a car camping capacity, I've actually never used them before. It does have a single lid that opens up linear. Though this may be a con for some people, it's fine for me. I got space where you move it up like this. It's got a nice seal built into here. You got a kind of a fridge area over here, and then you got your main area right here, and it's really deep, getting all the way down in there. And then one thing I do like that these companies do, that when I did a previous review on the Bodega, they did not. I like this basket that comes out. It allows me to get all of my stuff put in it, and then I can actually just slide this right in. And then it does have 2-liter holders down here, or wine bottle holders, if you want to not use this. And then I usually put like fruit and stuff back here. It also has a light right here. So if you come down, you put it off, it'll turn on, turn off. That's a positive, so you don't have to have a headlight or a flashlight if you're coming in here in the middle of the night and looking around, so you can get some stuff very quickly. It does have this chain. I will tell you, I broke the chain on that one, so be wary. You may have to repair this, so just kind of be easy with it. Don't fling it back. But it is pretty durable. I sit on it as well. I'm well over 200 pounds. In the back, you can see we got Vevor here. If it's a different brand, they'll have a different sticker here, but this is what, you got your compressor in here. Make sure when you're storing this that this is, you got room here for that and this side to be ventilated, so you don't want to overheat it. And then you've got your input here. In this case, I've got hooked into our power station below on a 12 volt. Also comes with a power, 120 here as well. So that you can do. It also comes with a manual. I didn't really need it. This is a very simple unit. 2 other things I want to really put out, or 3 things, is it is industrial grade. I mean, it is hard plastic. It does have protective feet here at the bottom, so you can beat it up. And then these handles. These are not movable. They're not interchangeable. You can take them off if you want, but they are, I want to almost call it industrial. I strap these down from here. Works incredibly well. And on the front, we've got our, whether we're in max mode, eco mode, and then our power modes for high, low, medium. And then what's our temperature as we're bringing this down. And then we can adjust where we want it to be. And then we can look at our settings here as well. So this is really super simple to use. You can power it off. You can power it on. Very simple, reacts very, very quickly. You can change again your settings here for where you want to go. Are we going on max? Are we going on eco? What is it we're doing? And then the mobile app, which I'll get into in a second, allows you to do all of that as well. It does have a nice little sealant. So when you click it down, it just doesn't, you click it in and this actually does click into place. And that's really it for the, the overall of this. It is a little bit tall. That's how these particularly work. The more liters you get, the higher they go. They don't get bigger on the sides or anything for this particular model. So as this thing's cooling down, the compressor's on, and one thing I want to notice is it's quiet. Down here by it, you can barely hear it. So it's low decibel. I think they call it 45 decibels or low. I will say I've never had any issues with noise with these, so very quiet. Everything in camping now comes with a mobile application. So this thing, and why would you need a mobile app? The display on this was so simple. You may have this wedged in the back of your car or the back seat like I do, and you may want to, see how it's going, see where it's at. I do this a lot with the Blue Eddy for my power station. What's the status of it? So this one has an Apple Cool app that you can use. You can see it right here. Let me just click on it, and it's going to connect up to our unit here, our 55-liter fridge, and it's going to give me some insight to where it is now. We're currently at 47 degrees. It's on its way down. We've got our temperature setting at 3 degrees. If I wanted to just click some buttons here, I can make it go down. And when I click things, you'll hear some beeping. And so it kind of moves from there. This app doesn't do a ton, but it does plenty enough. So you see at the top, I see my current temp, what voltage, and it shows a battery capacity. It's always going to be at 100%. This doesn't have a battery built into it. And in addition to hitting this up and down button, you can actually move things on the slider as well. At the bottom, we've got our voltage. You just click it and you go to either medium or low. And really it's how much is it drawing off of your battery. I keep this thing at high all the time, and I absolutely never put this in eco mode. I know it's good if a time period goes by, it goes into eco mode, it uses less stuff. I have heard some stories over the years about the temperature's just being right and it didn't shut off at that point. So I never keep it in eco mode. I always just let it be in high mode. I let the power station actually kind of drive different settings around that. So yeah, obviously you see this is very easy to use. Nothing really major going on here. I call this WT01, which is what it comes. If you go up in the upper right hand corner under settings, you can make some changes to this. You can do some things with it. You can rename it, reset it, do some other things. So this is the Apple Cool app for the Vevor 55 liter, and it works really well. Let's talk about testing. So I've got this hooked to 1152 watt-hour Blue Eddy, and how long did it go? I had it on high and I had it on max. I didn't have it on eco mode. So when we were in fridge mode, I had this sitting in my dining room in my house in a perfect temperature environment, and it went 82 hours and 54 minutes. And I had stuff in there too. I had Cokes and other things. When I flipped it to freezer mode, and on fridge mode, I think I had it at 34 degrees. On freezer mode, I took it all the way down to 0 or 1 degree, I can't remember, but it went 35 hours and 27 minutes before it depleted the Blue Eddy from 100% down. Now that's really good. Now with that said, I move around when I'm overlanding, so I'm never in one spot for more than a night, so my battery would be getting charged up as the Jeep was driving around, so I'm not too worried about that. But that's a good test to know where you're at if you're sitting in a while, especially on fridge mode. I mean, 82 hours, that's a lot of days. You can sit in a little area, and if you got solar or whatever, you can hook to your power station. But all in all, I am loving this Vevor 55 liter. I'm about to take it out and do some reviews. You'll see some more content with this, maybe not as its own video, but in some camping videos. And again, this fits perfectly in the back of my Jeep, and I am excited. I'm very happy with my long-term relationship I've had with Vevor. Again, this is $264.99 on the Amazon website, and here's a link to Vevor as well, where you can go and click on that and go. I appreciate everybody's time. If you got any value out of this, please click that like button. Don't forget to hit subscribe and click that bell to be notified when we got new content out. Again, I am Robert with Sherburne Outdoors. Everybody have a great day. Thank you for your time.